Okay, welcome back to the Two-Way Hockey Podcast. Fuck, I haven't said that in a while.
It's been too long, I think.
Man, we've said the same thing through the baseball podcast, but like it just feels like we haven't done podcasts in so long.
Yeah.
And like obviously there's been nothing to talk about. And now there's
Oh.
lots. And we wanted to get this out before the playoffs kind of kicked into gear, but we never really got a chance to do it. So now we're 2 games in on almost every series? I think every
Yeah,
series.
watching Game 3 right now of some of them.
Yeah,
So,
Rangers
Game 3 is
Rangers
finishing up.
Carolina is in the middle of Game 3 as we speak. It's tied 1-1.
I
So
think Washington, not Washington, Winnipeg and Calgary are finishing up soon. It's
Calgary
6-2,
just won.
right?
Yeah.
6-2 that game. So
Yeah, so we're still going to talk about every series that's going on, whatnot, and kind of just break down what we think is going to happen and what we thought was going to happen before the
give
series.
you our
too,
opinion that you really don't want to hear.
Exactly.
Grant's probably going to get mad, going to go on a rant. He's going to find a new team, and
I don't have much right now to get mad
Really?
about. Just Zach
Okay.
Cashin. I'm just so sick of that guy. But regardless, we might as well start where we always start because just because we took so much time off doesn't mean we need to change, right? The Leafs. They finally broke Jonas
I
Korpisalo.
gotta say, I'm pretty surprised that you're not wearing a Leaf jersey right now.
Honestly, I'm only wearing this because the boys play in like an hour and a bit.
Fair.
So I'm representing pregame.
You hopped on the wagon. I almost threw on the Matthews jersey, but I decided I was like, he's gonna throw on his Leaf jersey, and no, he didn't.
I was wearing the Jake Gardner jersey before I got on here, and that jersey has been the best of luck for me. Like every time I put that on, they win. So I might just roll with the Gardner jersey, no matter how much shit I have to take for it.
Now, in turn, I guess Carolina wins as well.
Yeah.
So it's good.
You never know. Yeah. If I'm cheering for Carolina, then I'm pushing on both teams. It's great. The Leafs, they look good in both games, I find. Like they weren't as good in game 1 as they were in game 2, but like they just could not solve Jonas Korpisalo.
No, man. Game 1, he was making big saves. Game 2, he made big saves as well.
Yeah,
but
that save he made on Matthews was kind of just like, yeah, you're not winning this game. When he came across and gloved that timer from Nylander, I'm like, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, when your best scorer gets absolutely robbed, it's game over at that point. He was in the zone for it, and it's not even like it was a bad game though. Like if you really look at it, it's a 1-0 game, like the empty net goal. So technically in the series, Korpisalo he's led in more goals than Anderson has.
Yeah,
right?
It's a 1-0 game, and it's literally the one goal was on a breakaway that Freddie probably could have had, but whatever, it happened.
But you're telling me with this kind of offense, you can't get more than one goal in a game.
This is the thing I said. I don't know if I said it on any of the podcasts, but I said before the series is that this team is not going to be as easy to beat as people think because they have that tandem of all-star caliber goalies, and they can steal you some games. And they stole game 1, realistically. Like I think Columbus outshot Toronto, but I feel like Toronto had the puck more often than not, and he just made bigger saves. But that's what happened game 1. Game 2, you show up thinking we got to beat this guy. They changed some things around. They put Mitch with Austin. I think Mitch has been dog shit in the series so far.
Right.
Not a lot of.
There's times that I feel like he could have looked to the net a little more, and he's looked more to pass it off. And I think that's something that they've always said about him, though.
There's times when he should have passed and he shot instead, and like he just turned the puck over a lot, and he's trying too much, I think.
But you know what? Tonight, man, the Leafs had all 4 lines rolling.
Yep.
They played that 4th line a lot more. Clifford had a huge hit at one point.
Clifford got the entire game going when he did that.
Okay,
that was
exactly.
nuts.
So I think you need to go back to that. Like, game 1 was a little bit like old style Leaf, was a little like we're gonna play 3 lines because we don't want to trust the 4th. Where like Tortorella is gonna trust all 4, and he's gonna play everyone the same.
Yep. Well,
in every situation.
Their case is a little different though, because like they really have they have 1 line 1, and then it's 3 line 3 4s. Like it's not really.
But still, you need to be able to keep up with that. If you're only playing 3 lines, and they're going to just beat you at every puck, and they're going to be the ones that capitalize on that scoring opportunity, right? Like they're a really good defensive team at times, when they get stuck in their own end, it's hard, it seems, to get some shots. I know they the Leafs completely outshot them today, but they also run the power play a lot more and had a lot better shot there.
They roll the lines a bit, but you still had Matthews at 22 minutes. You had Marner at 24, but then your fourth line of Clifford at 7:36, Engvall who's on the penalty kill at 9:16,
right? But
and Spezza at 7:55.
If you compare that to game one,
I'll see if I can pull that up too, but it is a different look, and I think it changed a little bit that you had Engvall instead of Goat, which to me does not make a single difference. They're the same player. I don't care what anyone says, man. It's irrelevant.
You don't think so?
I don't think either of them bring anything special to this team. And
I think Engvall has got a little bit of a better gear.
He's faster.
I think that right now is what they're looking for.
I've seen Engvall do in the past month of the season, and that game today is just he skates across the blue line and just rifles things into the goalie's chest, and you're not doing anything with that.
No.
And it's just I don't see a difference in either player. It doesn't really make a difference to me. The fourth line looked great, and he's gonna get credit for that. But I think the fact that Clifford came out and blew up what the hell's that, Karund or something? I don't even know the guy's name. Just blew him up. That's what's giving the fourth line credit, is the fact that Clifford was buzzing today.
Yep, absolutely.
But either way, I just think that situation's a wash. It's really not that important. What was I saying? Okay, so Jason Spezza game 1, 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
Right.
Clifford had 3:21.
Right. So
they did double their time.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Good. The big story of the game that we haven't got to yet was late in the game, a minute 57, I think it was, left on the clock. Yeah. Jake Muzzin took a cross-check from behind. Say what you want about the cross-check. It's not a disciplinary thing. Nothing's going to happen from it.
Really early as well. He was kind of falling afterwards because of it, but it wasn't.
He was already off balance. It was a vicious-looking cross-check. He really cocked back to throw it at him. But I don't think it made as big a difference. I think the problem was there was a lot of bad luck after, where he got caught up in the boards and then kind of flung forward into, I don't remember his name, into the guy's shin either way.
Was it Bjorkstrand, I think, maybe? Yeah, that's it. Put right into his shin, The back of his leg, sorry. No, not into his shin, the back of his leg.
Was it his back of his leg?
Yeah. He fell right on the back of him.
It's one of those things, it's a really shitty spot that you really don't want to see your best defender get into, but it sucks, and that's where we're at. I think latest news I've heard, apparently the refs were saying on the ice that it was just for precautionary reasons. He's not which you know what, it could end up being something serious.
Pretty sure that he's gone to the hospital though.
He is gone to the hospital, and the rule in the NHL is that if you leave the bubble, then it's a minimum 4 days you have to re-quarantine. However, because he's going to the hospital, the NHL has a rule, an exception in place, where it's up to the health directors of the hospital, I believe it is, or maybe the league, but it's up to them to determine how many days he stays out. So it could be once he comes back, he can come right back in the lineup if he's able to play.
But it could be that he's.
But it also could be, you have to stay out at least 4 days, depending on where in the hospital he goes and where he has to stop before that and stuff like that. There's a lot of factors in place. I don't know about any of them that are in place before he can come back. And hopefully it's all good news and he's fine. And it was just a scare and he's good.
It looked pretty harmless, which is for those hits in the game. It's pretty upsetting, to see that kind of takes him out of that series. He was a good leadership on that back end. He has a lot of playoff experience, with the Kings all those years doing cup runs.
Yep.
And
I love Jake Muzzin, but he hasn't been very good in this series.
No,
him and Justin Hall have been a frightening pair on that back end. They look slow, both of them, and they don't do a lot with the puck, which kind of is one of the things that this team needs to be successful. Is the whole team needs to play the same strategy, and those two guys were just struggling with it. And game one was bad,
but game 2 was bad. Game 1 they finished with 0 plus minus, they were even. So and he had 3 shots on goal.
Fine. It's just they look a little not as good as they did in the regular season, but he's still Jake Muzzin, and he's still been there and done that. And it's a guy you want on that back end to shut it down, right?
Somebody that can definitely turn around, absolutely.
Yeah, he's your PK guy too, which it really hurts when he's out of the lineup. But I don't know. Hopefully he's back, because it's looking like the next option is Martin Marincin, which like it should be Rasmus Sandin. I don't understand why Marinchin's even a name that gets mentioned.
Is it really? Or are they just saying that right now?
No, because Sandin didn't even play in that exhibition game when they were allowed to expand the rosters, but they had Marinchin in there. So I'm assuming it's going to be Marinchin, and if that's the case, I might just cheer for Columbus.
It might be more of a 5-man rotation then.
Yeah, let's just run 5D and an extra forward because I it's not really worth it. But hopefully we don't have to deal with it. Hopefully Muzzin's just going to go in there. They're going to be like, yeah, you're okay. It was just a scare.
Have you lost that much faith in Martin Marinchin?
Yes.
I guess in the depth, but so then in the depth of this team?
Yeah. Well, no, depth in this team, I have a lot of faith in Sandin and Liljegren, but Liljegren got deemed unfit to play before the thing even started. I don't know what's going on there. And then Sandin, they just put on an island and said, you're not playing. Because he didn't get to play in that exhibition game. You didn't see much of him in the practices. Like, he never really got put with anyone that mattered. So they just don't think he's a capable option, I guess. And I don't know where that came from. Because he looked good when he was in the NHL.
I guess maybe they see something.
Maybe you're looking for experience over talent. I don't know, man. Like, it seems like it would be a weird choice to bring in Marinchin over Sandin. It just doesn't seem like the play for me. But
I guess
who knows?
Marinchin has a little more experience in the system in the playoffs. It's a weird playoffs, you know. I mean, it's maybe not a place for a rookie. I find that watching Robertson sometimes he looks not like I want to say a little frantic when he gets the puck. He looks like he's
really trying to do things out there.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, man, he fired off 3 shots in a row, and I was like, that's good. But at one of those points, Kerfoot was open in the slot. You look and take the time to kind of look over and get that to him, and then one of them, he kind of just went right at Seth Jones, and Seth Jones is sitting right in the way, which is I'm glad you got the shots, but in the case of if there's a better option, and especially for a teammate to kind of call for it and say, hey. I want it right here.
Yep.
Take that extra second, look around, and then,
Yeah.
See if you can find a better option.
It's also been the year of the rookies in the playoffs, though, right? You get Kotkaniemi with his first career game, scores a goal. You had Nick Suzuki had his first career game and scored a goal.
There it is, yeah.
Who else was out there? Kubalik pops off 5 points in his first career game.
Man, it was ridiculous.
That kid in Winnipeg yesterday played his first career game and popped off a goal. There's just been so many rookies. Jonas Korpisalo comes in for his first career playoff game and pops off a shutout.
He's been a backup,
yeah,
I guess.
He's not a rookie, but that's his first time he's ever been playing in the playoffs. So maybe it's the time to bring in the guys that don't have any experience because it seems to be working for everybody else.
Maybe.
But who knows, right?
Yeah.
They might be thinking something completely different. They might be going, yeah, Sandin's our guy. Who knows?
I think that the Leafs just kind of showed their ceiling right now. Not their ceiling, sorry, a little flash of what they can do and how high they can go. Yeah, yeah.
Because they dominated. It was a 3-0 game, but they dominated that game.
Right. It was at one point the shots were 35 to 19. That was holy crap.
I think they finished 40 to. I don't think they had any more than 19.
Right.
I think that was.
And here's going to be Columbus's biggest downfall is they get caught pinching way too much, which is very high reward when it works, but there's times it didn't work, man. John Tavares had a complete walk-in
breakaway, wide open from the red line.
Because and he's faster than Seth Jones. He's faster than Werenski, especially when they pinch in.
Mm-hmm.
So
not to say they're bad skaters, both of them can skate, but you're not catching one of these guys from that far back. They're trusted
to do that, you know what I mean? If they get the right shot and get the right opportunity, and that puck is either smothered or it's in the back of the net, so it's not going the other way. But this time, man, Freddie's seeing everything, and there also wasn't a lot of opportunity, so there wasn't a lot of chance to get flow, and they would usually get about one shot, and then it was the other way, man. When Matthews scored.
There weren't many times when I was looking at their rushes and being like, oh, that's a dangerous chance. There was one or two, maybe.
Matthews' goals and Tavares' goals were both on. They rushed in, and the Leafs stopped it, turned the other way, and a quick ball.
That's the thing. When Werenski and Jones are back, you can shut down Matthews all game long because they're both really good defenders. Mm-hmm. But when it's just one of them, good luck trying to shut down one of the best goal scorers.
I think one thing that they pointed out with their team is sticks in the lane. They get a lot of sticks in the lane, and they break up a lot of pucks. They block
a fuck ton of pucks.
But I think Brian Burke was giving John Tortorella a lot of credit for that. That's how he kind of coaches: is keep your stick in passing lanes and shooting lanes, and just deflect everything. And
Yeah. They run one of the coolest penalty kills I've ever seen too. They have like a triangle system in place and then like a floater that just floats around at everybody. And like I've never seen that.
Nope.
Maybe it's more common than I think, but I've never seen a team run something
like that. It throws a little wrench in your plans for sure.
Yeah,
right?
because you don't have time. Like it's not like you can set up and just pass the puck around like was it Edmonton was doing last night? There was a team that was just dumb. Oh, Chicago last night on the power play. They just passed the puck around like it's nothing because there's no one out there bugging them.
That used to be the old style of Leafs. Yeah. The Leafs used to just sit back and wait for a shot and never block it.
You can't do that against this team because they just there's a guy on you constantly, and it's tough to break, and it's a frustrating team to play against, and I can see it. And a lot of teams are going to struggle with that, but as long as the Leafs can keep a level head for the rest of the series and know that you're going to continue to get scoring chances, don't break your game plan.
They are not interested they can take the series. In any of the ref stuff. And it's not really happening. I think one thing that I want to say, and I've noticed this across all series, and especially tonight, I think there was 2 penalties on it, are the slashing calls.
Dude, the refs are interesting. This is not playoff officiating.
This is not preseason. No. Those are shit, wimpy.
Kasperi Kapanen's quote-unquote slash at the end of the game, I still haven't seen it. Like where do you make that call?
What happened?
But I don't know. It's like... They're not. I think they're doing a decent job. I think today's were good outside of that call, but it's just not what you're used to seeing in the playoffs.
I think I've seen that call a couple times where it is in on the hands, and sometimes it does look a little more vicious than it actually is. But I feel like they need to kind of take it back a step and remember, it's playoff hockey. Yeah. Like what, we got to remember that some teams
they might be thinking, hey, it's not quite the playoffs yet.
It is
because this is still the play-in games, right? Like it's not actually.
No, but if you watch I've seen the difference between the round robin and the play-in games, and those teams want it so much more, and there's so much
for some teams. Did you catch the Tampa Washington game? They were both buzzing.
Right, but I think there's a little more bad blood there. But like there was the Philly Washington game that I felt like it was kind of like a sit Philly, back.
Boston, you mean? Or Philly Boston looks like shit.
They look old,
man. All of them. They look bad in their exhibition game. They look bad in their round robin game. I'm like this
2 months off.
This is not Boston. This is not the Boston that we saw in the middle of the season that was tearing apart the league.
If I'm the Leafs,
I want Boston. Man, I want Boston. And I never thought I'd say that as a Leaf fan, but like they don't look good. And obviously we got to get through Columbus first, and that's a lot to say, but like
but you can get through Columbus. Columbus is not standing high and above you, and if you lose out on this series, there is something that needs to happen. I'm sorry, but you can't keep the same team going forward. If you're going to lose to Columbus and not even see a Boston, especially in a year like this,
they just need to. I think they need to win the mental game, and that's all it is. Is like the team's going to frustrate the hell out of you. Just stay within your game, do what you can do, and win it that way, because offensively, that team cannot compete with this one. And as long as they continue to hold on to the puck and just mesmerize them with having puck possession.
Nick Foligno is not getting 2 goals a night. No. Like Cam Atkinson maybe could get you a goal. Like there's not bona fide.
There's no star power on that team.
No, there's
Seth
no
Jones is the star.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. What do you think the series ends up? Actually, let's go this route. Coming into the series, what did you call it?
Oh crap, I gotta find that document. I think I called it 3-2 Leafs.
Okay. And now what is your pick?
I honestly want to say 3-1.
Okay, what really?
I think the Leafs could just take it from here.
Really, eh?
I think that's a big series. Yeah, I said 3-2 Toronto, but I think that they could definitely just come and take this thing now.
Okay. Coming in, I had it as a toss-up. I honestly, there was times when I thought Columbus could take it. Just because they play really good systematic hockey and like their goaltending situation. Once they said Korpisalo, I figured Leafs in 4 or 5. Now I think after game 1, I'm like, shit, this could be Columbus. And then now it's kind of looking more like Leafs in 5, I think. I think Columbus gets at least one more game, but I think it goes.
Yeah, I think they're just going to take their ass.
I also feel like eventually Korpisalo's got to not ride this train, right? Like eventually he's going to look more like the average or 2 above average goaltender that he is, as opposed to fucking Dominic Hasek out there.
Right.
So who knows? What series you want to go to for? Actually, you know what I want to talk about is Montreal and Pittsburgh.
Oh, that one. Okay, so I've had it as a sweep for Pittsburgh.
Me too.
Slap my ass, call me Sally. They just like first game. I was like, why?
Excuse me?
Happening?
Like how?
Carey Price apparently just went back. He stared at his gold medal and he said, "Yeah, all right, that. Yeah, okay, I remember this."
Yeah, vintage Carey Price for game 1 and Absolutely. Game 2, realistically.
Yeah,
but this whole time, like, yes, Carey Price can win you games, but you have to score at some point.
Is this another case of like how we said Boston's, a little older, get like slow start, like Pittsburgh, kind of the same deal. Like they're older, a lot of their star players are in that same age range, and they're like, oh man, we got to kick up, and it's like there's no fans, there's really no continuity to it. Like you're like sometimes you're playing back to back, then you have a day off. Like your schedule's whack now.
Well, you look at their roster, right? They have their big guns. You got Sid and Malkin are both on the other side of 30.
Right.
Marlowe's on the other side of 40.
Right.
Is he not? And then like Jason Zucker's not the youngest guy either. He's only 28, but like
Chris Letang is in his 30s.
Yeah. So all of your stars, save for a couple, like Gensel's still young and stuff like that, but most of your stars are still trying to get back into it after being off for 4 months, 5 months, whatever it's been.
But Sid's there.
Yeah. Sid's a gamer.
Sid came in and he understands, and he took game 2, I feel, and just said, yeah, we're going to win this one.
Yeah. It was a tale of 2 Pittsburgh teams from game 1 to game 2, because game 1, they outshot them by a ton.
Right.
But if you're not playing their own end.
If you're going to look at me and say it's going to come down to Carey Price versus Sidney Crosby, I'm going to take Sidney Crosby 10 out of 10.
Every day of the week, especially because the supporting cast behind Sid.
Right.
It should be easier from here on out for Pittsburgh. I think Montreal put a lot into game 1 and just didn't look like the same team in game 2. They ended up getting one late and made it a good game, but it's just they don't have the scoring, primary scoring, secondary scoring. They just don't really have it.
Jonathan Drouin is still trying to find where he is.
He should have this figured out by now. Just because it's been so long, I feel like, he's right there.
But part of that comes with like maybe the revolving door that is Montreal's offense. Like which way are they going? Which direction are they trying to get to? Right? You have players that are like Kotkaniemi, and I don't know if I even said that right. These kids with their names not good enough for me. And who can score the puck sometimes, but also, like they're rookies, they're still kids themselves. And you have players who are like Max Domi are forced to like kind of change their game from what they were when they were kids.
He was like 100-something point scorer in the OHL.
Now he's got to be the Rafi Torres. Like he's, you know what I mean?
It's weird. They don't really have much of an identity offensively, and I think it's going to crush them down the stretch.
Pittsburgh's going to probably squeak out this series. I think now it'll be maybe more of a 3-2 though.
Yeah, I think it's a 4-game series now.
No, I think it's still 3-2.
I just think you look at the Pittsburgh team that showed up in game 1, they didn't know how to defend in their own end, and they were just kind of like shocked by what they saw in Montreal. Yeah. And then game 2, they just locked it down, and they're like, no, we're still the Pittsburgh Penguins. Get lost. And I don't see Montreal being able to overcome that now that they've seen them, they know what's coming. And
I just think that given the fact that Montreal is literally the last team that should have been in there, they just said, you know what, we're going to freaking run with this opportunity. If you give us this chance, let's try to go as far as we can.
Sure. I just don't see them getting any more games. Maybe they do, but
one thing is that they're not going to get pushed around by Pittsburgh.
Nope.
And they might intimidate them enough to steal the series, but I think it's going to be 3-2 Pittsburgh still.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The other surprise of the weekend anyways was the Chicago series. Honestly, I gave Chicago a bit of a chance coming in. I don't know if I had them winning it. I think I had Edmonton in 5 because both teams do not know how to defend.
So I had Edmonton.
Neither team has a goalie.
I had Edmonton in 4, to be honest.
Okay.
And I'm a big, like you see, we said, we got the, we got the 2013. It's,
Yeah. It's just,
however,
neither team had a goalie. Neither team can play defense. Both teams can score.
But you know what? You know what both teams don't have, and one team does?
Mm-hmm.
A Connor McDavid.
Yep. But one has a Patrick Kane.
Okay.
And it's not a Connor McDavid, but
for every
I have a
goal that
lot more
Patrick
faith.
Kane is going to get, Connor McDavid is going to get 2.
Yeah, but the thing with McDavid for the most part, and I think McDavid's a great talent offensively, and I think he does a lot on the front end, but he was still, despite the fact that him and Leon Draisaitl led the league in points 1 and 2, Leon was a minus 36.
Oh,
And Connor was still a minus player. It wasn't as bad as Leon.
Part of that goes back to the drop off that they have behind it. Like if you think about it, if you're trying to ask them to go 90 feet the whole way to get there and then back, like that's a big ask to do, and especially
Draisaitl. Plus minus is a shit stat. I understand that. I don't use it a lot, but when you lead the league in points by like 30.
When you're in the 100,
you shouldn't be a minus 36. Like, I'm okay with like -8, -7 in that range, but minus 36, you're out there for a lot of goals against, and especially Connor, who Connor has never really been praised for his defense, and they talked about it a bit yesterday on the broadcast. And you know what? There's times where he'll score 5 goals, but like his line's still going to give up 3. And if that's happening to you on the defensive end, the rest of their team is not good.
So just to hint at my my award pick, it's why he didn't get my vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he lost my vote.
Yeah.
So
it frightens me, and I think that's what kills them, is that they just can't play defense. But you're right, they do have Connor McDavid, who can score you 5 goals on any given night, and he showed that last night. And
did he ever? My God, did you see those goals? I just
the third one sucked. Like his third one. Like, it was just a pass that went in the net.
Right.
But, like, the first one, just such a quick one-timer that, like, seemed harmless and just bang in the back of the net. I'm like,
then the second one.
Speed.
Oh, my God. Just the vintage Connor McDavid goal. Just fast and pinpoint in the corner.
Connor Murphy, who's a pretty good defender, just got blown around like he wasn't even there. And I'm like, Jesus, this kid can fly. There's no denying that, and he can do such incredible things at such high speeds. When he gets in that mode, it's tough to stop.
I think they're taking the next 2 games.
You gotta hope. I don't think they go much deeper than this round.
No, not when you face real teams. But Chicago's another one of those teams that just snuck in there. So
here's the thing: is Corey Crawford still somewhere inside him is still Corey Crawford, and there's a chance he could pop off 2 starts from here on out. That's like, oh shit, that's still Corey Crawford.
But the issue is that it's Corey Crawford is not surrounded by the Chicago Blackhawks of the
Seabrook days when they were in their prime.
Right.
Chalmerson and Campbell and all that.
Keith even looks a little lost at times, man. Like, he looks like he's trying to play the game too fast for his own good.
He's looked better than he has in the recent years, though, to me. I think he looks healthy. And he
absolutely,
looks
but he's almost trying to kick that in now. That it was like a shortened season, and he's trying to really run around out there, and it works sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time. And he needs to be the leader on the back end, especially with there's no Seabrook. You know what I mean? There's relatively like a new and unknown defense.
He looks like he decided he wanted the nicest hair in the NHL too.
Oh my God,
it's so luscious right now.
You know what it is? He probably just went backwoods camping, like in the backwoods.
Yeah.
Didn't shower for months.
A forest behind his house, and he went out there and just lived in it for
4 months. Silky smooth.
Crazy, hilarious. You said Edmonton in 4 still.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to be a 5-game series. I still think it's probably going to be Edmonton.
Yeah.
But shout out to Chicago for making it close.
Making it fun. Honestly, that's what I like about them. That's what I loved about it.
That first game was Kubalik, man. I still don't think he's a top 3 rookie this year, but like playing on that line with Jonathan Toews, incredible.
They both helped each other, yeah.
It's incredible, and good for him for popping off and showing what he can do. The guy has more points in the NHL now than he ever did in his European career, which is hilarious.
Love it.
But good for him. It's great.
Chicago is really good at helping those European players make the jump. Artemi Panarin.
Yeah. You want to just transition to that? Because I'm still currently... Actually, you know what? We'll wait on that one because that game's going into the third.
You think so?
Yeah. It's tied 1-1. We'll wait on it.
Yeah,
I want to talk about the most fun series in my eyes because there's a bit of controversy we can talk about it, and that's Calgary and Winnipeg. So game 1.
Oh my god, I don't want to hear about this because it shouldn't be a conversation.
Okay, cool. As long as we're still on the same
page. It shouldn't be
a
conversation. Why is
so if you didn't see it, look it up because I don't need to describe it. Basically, Tkachuk, his foot came up and cut Scheifele's leg, and that's it. Paul Maurice tried to make it a big deal and say, like, he basically just pinned it on Tkachuk's character, and like it's the type of guy he is, and he did it intentionally. And if you look at the certain angle, it looks like he did it intentionally. And like, dude,
you know what my solution to that is? We're gonna play ball hockey next year so that everyone's Achilles are good.
Like, it's very clear that his skate just like it bounces and kicks up into his leg. Like, if you're Mark Scheifele, what the fuck are you doing trying to turn way the hell around? Like, just take the hit and keep going, man. You're bigger than Matt Tkachuk.
It doesn't matter either way. It's a hockey play. You're going to the boards. You're trying to turn away. He's trying to finish a check. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's the danger of running around with blades on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
And being so sharp. It is so sharp, those blades. They get them sharpened. They can get them sharpened mid-period.
Yep.
Right there. Like, that's insanity.
Yep. It's just the nature of the game, and it sucks that it happened to your team's best player. It is what it is.
But you know what, though? They didn't need it.
Not in game 2.
Not in game 2. They came back. They used that. Nikolai Ehlers
all of a sudden can play in the playoffs.
Man, I watched that kid in the juniors. So, like, with Denmark. I think he's from Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just him, Matt Zeller, and I think Oliver Bjorkstrand. That was about the 3, like, whatever. And
Crazy.
He just had that ability. And then he's gone away for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's been like good in the regular season. Sometimes he's great, but never like consistently great. But he just disappears every playoffs.
And that team has faced so much crap this year and just so much off ice like bullshit.
Yeah. Especially with like the whole Dustin Byfuglien situation.
You lose Dustin Byfuglien, right? You trade Jacob Trouba for Pion, which you got the kind of the better deal, but you know what? Now there's not as much playoff experience. There's not as much just NHL experience.
It's a different look.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like their defense is kind of nameless. Josh Morrissey, I think, is pretty solid.
I like Morrissey, but he's like a second pairing guy.
Right.
But they've dealt with a lot, and I think Paul Maurice has done a great job as the coach on that team. And
I think
they look great. And this series has just been so much fun. I think it's such a nice matchup.
Oh, man. Was it 6-2 tonight, though?
Yeah, it was a tough. Like, both the Calgary wins have looked like dominant, but then that Winnipeg win was like, man, this is Winnipeg. This is how they play, and this is how they've looked.
But Calgary's deeper right now. Yep. They're showing that right now. They're flexing it. They're going to win. They're taking. It
sucks that they're missing their top 2 forwards in Winnipeg. Right. I think it's not an ideal situation for any team, let alone a team that's already so shallow.
You have to carry on. You have to keep a next man up mentality, and
which they kind of had in game 2 with that. I can't remember that kid's name, but he scored his first career goal.
It's there with an H.
What's his name? I don't even. Yeah, maybe. Don't
know. Does he
have
long hair? Is he like number 58?
That's it.
He got a stupid penalty today, which once again kind of goes to the refs, like baiting these players. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong with it, but he kind of just stuck his stick in on Monahan, and like Monahan's stick kind of got caught with it. It looked really dumb. It looked really innocent.
Did you see Tucker Poolman wear one in the face?
Oh my God! Is his jaw broken? His jaw.
It's gotta be. His face is swollen up about 3 inches off his face right now.
I think maybe it might have chipped off his glove first, so hopefully the impact isn't all there. But like, I think he took
the brunt of it.
Jesus.
Yeah, and
he
kept playing. He came back with the cage and then the fishbowl and played the rest of the game. Blood just dripping down his chin. I'm like, you know what? You're a warrior, man. Good for you.
I don't even know what to do. Like,
yeah. All right. Before the series, who'd you have?
Who did I have actually? Oh, I think I had Winnipeg. Yeah, I did.
I had Winnipeg in 5.
I had Winnipeg in 4, but that was with Scheifele.
Yeah, I'm thinking Calgary in 5.
Calgary in 4. They're just gonna win the next game and move on. Yeah.
I'm still interested to see what's going on with Scheifele. Like,
do you know what the issue is? No, I think he's going to be done. It's pretty serious.
I would assume, but they said it's not serious.
Okay, then why isn't he back?
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. If it's not serious, why isn't he back yet? And is he gonna be back?
Okay, but either way, Calgary's still gonna. He's injured.
Mm-hmm.
He's missed the last 2 games.
Yeah, and basically, I would like to see him.
He's basically missed the last 3 games.
Yeah,
he went out early in the first game, if I'm not mistaken.
He's too much of a gamer to not be back by now.
Right. So
let's go Vancouver, Minnesota, because that was a little bit of a heartbreaker.
You think so?
It's tough, man. I thought Vancouver had they're an offensive juggernaut.
You know what that is, though? That's just veterans doing what veterans do.
A lot of these guys have never played in the playoffs on Vancouver.
Right, and Minnesota is just everyone's played.
They've been there, done that, and I don't know if that continues tonight. As we sit here, if you're listening, we haven't seen the game. The game hasn't happened yet. So, all our takes are going to be outdated by the time this is released.
Right.
But
you know what I think might be the boldest, though, is that this could be the series that the team that's supposed to win doesn't.
Okay. You think Minnesota?
Yeah, because of that, because it's a weird year, because there's no there's no home ice advantage, there's no it's interesting to get kind of pumped up in there, and I just think Minnesota has that ability to just say these are games we need to win, and it could be. It could go to game 4, game 5. I'm not saying they're going to be it's going to be a cakewalk, but I feel like this could be the series where the team that's supposed to win it just doesn't win it.
Okay. I think the big thing in that series is that they were shutting PD down hard. Mm-hmm. And I think they need to get a couple more calls their ways, because there was a lot of times when this guy's getting abused without the puck. He's getting cross-checked. He's getting a whole lot of stuff that's getting called in every other series. But all of a sudden, the Vancouver game, they just put it away. Yeah. And I'm like, this isn't the NBA where they have that superstar treatment, because PD is a superstar in this league. And he got abused and no one gave a shit when it came to officiating. And I'm like, I don't really like it. I think they missed a couple of calls that are pretty key, especially with that Vancouver power play. You give them a chance, they're going to make you pay.
Oh, yeah. They're dangerous, over the ice.
Yeah. So if you get, I don't know, a couple more opportunities, then I would be afraid of the Vancouver power play, but it depends on how the games go from here. This tonight is similar to the Maple Leaf situation, where right now, you know what, it looks like Minnesota's kind of got their number, but after tonight, maybe Vancouver shows up and pops off 4 goals or something like that, right? And then it's a completely different series. I think tonight will tell a lot.
I think you need to definitely make a statement, like you're saying, you need to win by a healthy margin, and you need to score early too.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Who'd you have before the series?
I had Vancouver 3-2.
Okay, I had Vancouver in 4. I think it was.
I think I'll stick Vancouver 3-2. I think Minnesota. I don't know. I don't know. No, then I'll do Minnesota.
All right, Minnesota. I think Vancouver in 5. I think it's gonna be a good series.
Minnesota in 5. Then I'll take them.
Okay.
Stick to what I said.
We have one more Western Conference matchup on the books, and there's really not much to talk about. But Nashville, Arizona, it's been an interesting series. I was shocked that Arizona came out of the gates in the game 1 the way they did.
You know what though? I'm not, because Nashville started UC Saros, who's never had a playoff game before, and Nashville is not always the most. No, and they're not always the most consistent forward team, where Arizona is all pretty much a forward team, except for some pretty underrated.
They defend pretty well though.
Right. But in the sense of I think their biggest names, there's Oliver Ekman-Larsson, absolutely, yeah. But then it kind of goes Phil Kessel, right? They put a lot of
guys in their back end that you don't know, right?
Yeah, they put a lot of money into Keller. You know what I mean? They went out and they got Hall.
Yep.
They're big names. Where they're going to hurt you is definitely up front.
Yep. And I was just shocked.
Carolina just scored. Sorry. Oh yeah.
So late. Oh, what a shit goal. Yeah. So, where was I going to say there? No, I was just shocked that they came out and they started to dominate them quick, and then they just kind of rode that to the end of the game, ended up winning by 1. But then Nashville came out today and kind of just did the same thing. They just dominated them off the hop and
won up 4-0, and then
I really don't know. I don't know which way that series goes from here. It could go either way, and it's an intriguing series to watch. Kind of boring games to watch, but intriguing series to follow.
I think that it's Nashville. I think they're bigger. They're gonna really just kind of dominate the offensive tempo from there. Where Arizona looks chunky at times. They look very disorganized, and you know, I mean, you lost your general manager coming into this
weird situation.
There's stuff going on there. You know what I mean? You also offered. I don't know if this is 100% true, but I heard about $7 million or so to Taylor Hall in the first conversation. Maybe 9, I think, was about as high as they said.
I could see him getting that.
I'm almost positive that they walked to the table with about $7 million, 7.5 around there.
It's kind of low,
right? So
it's going to get Hart Trophy money, right?
And I think that's the general manager maybe realizing like this is not going the way that anybody thinks it's going to go, and I don't want to have any part to do with this. Nobody's letting me do anything, you know. Yeah. So like the things that he thinks
come out. Yeah,
gone. I don't care about the rest of the season. I don't care that we're in the playoffs. Like, name another general manager who's walked out of their team in the playoffs
before you're even done
in the playoffs.
Like, I don't know. That's crazy. It's a crazy situation.
I can understand saying, "Hey, look, man, I'm not really feeling safe," you know, due to the whole pandemic. Yep. However, this guy says
that was not it.
Look, man, I'm not really feeling safe being GM in this organization. I'll see you later.
I don't really feel safe with our pockets. I'm going to need to go find another team.
I'm going to take unemployment. I'm going to maybe, open up my own business.
Crazy. All right. Who'd you have before the series?
Nashville 3-1. Sticking to it.
Okay. I had Arizona in 5. I think I'm going Nashville in 5 now. I think it stays 5.
Yeah.
5. Okay. We have 2 more series left. One of them's looking like it might be wrapped up in about 15 minutes.
Oh, you're at 15 minutes, Mark?
No, I'm at 13:40, but
you're about 2 seconds behind. All right, cool.
Okay. The other one, I really don't even want to talk about because it's fucking boring.
Right.
Is the Islanders and Panthers.
Right.
Save the worst for the last, I guess.
Really? No, but we haven't done the round robin yet, so.
No, we'll get to those after the series, though. It's just the Islanders are just so goddamn boring, and I don't like the way they play hockey. And I just want to see them lose.
No, they're too well coached to lose.
Yeah, they're not going to lose to Florida. They'll probably lose in the second round, but they're not going to lose. Wow.
I just want to say this. Bobrovsky looks god awful. And if this is your first year with him, you better hope that next year is one of his on years.
Because it's not getting any better.
This is not good.
No.
He looks like lost in the net. He looks like he doesn't know where it is.
Yeah, I haven't followed that series enough to say much about it. I don't want to. I hope this series ends in 3. Because
I've been watching bits and pieces. It's just the issue is that like they're really good at shutting down Barkov and Huberdeau, and beyond those two, they just don't get any consistent offense, and they just don't get any consistent looks at the net. And you know what I mean? You have to have one of your defensemen playing forward in Pysyk. I think he's up there. And like a guy like Matheson, like some of these names are just like, you know what I mean? Keith Yandle's older. Aaron Ekblad is not a first overall pick. The way that he was like touted, he's good, but he's not great.
He's good defensively. It's just the Islanders are really good at winning 1-goal games, and they're really good at winning 1-0 games, and
also
that's all they are.
Here's a fun fact: in the last 10 playoff games that Jordan Eberle has played, he has 11 points. He is a monster.
Shows up when it matters. Yep.
He knows where the money is.
Yep. Who'd you have going into it?
Oh, I had them.
Islanders?
Yeah, I'm sticking to them. I had 3-2, but I think they're going to sweep it.
Yeah, I think I had them in 4. I have them in 3 now because...
Yeah, I had it 3-2.
They just don't allow goals, and like unless you're facing teams that have the star power to just break through your stupid-ass systems.
So New York doesn't allow goals, and Florida just doesn't score them. So
yeah, it's not a good combination for Florida. Like New York can score 1 a game, and they're going to consistently do it. But you you're not going to allow many, and I hate it.
That was the
I just
funniest
hope they
little
get a
clip,
stupid
though.
matchup next series.
That was the funniest clip of Brian Boyle and Pajot. Just like,
Pajot thought he was so tough. He just like lunges at him, and it's like, dude, Brian Boyle would take you to church.
look at him. He just like grabs him. It's almost like fight your little brother. It's like, come here.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna jersey you, and that's it. We're gonna just go away from this. Yeah, no, it's dumb.
Carolina, New York. I thought New York would be better. I don't know why they went with Lundqvist.
I think I said 3-1 Carolina, but I think
I said New York.
I think Lundqvist was the only healthy one.
Georgiev is healthy. Shesterkin wasn't fit to play until today. You're right.
Right. So
I'd still go Georgiev over Lundqvist. Maybe the experience.
Oh yeah. If anyone's gonna take a game,
Lundqvist hasn't won this year.
Okay, but Carolina is unreal looking right now. I don't know if that's just because they're playing New York, but
yeah, that might be it.
Sebastian Aho does not get enough credit for being probably like one of the most underrated players. Like he's probably one of the most underrated players in the NHL right now.
It's also you look at what do you call it? New York's decor, and the guys like Adam Fox and Tony DeAngelo and Mark or Jacob Trouba, like they're young, but like they just didn't show up in the series.
No.
And it's
Jacob Trouba's never showed up in any series, I don't think.
No, and it's a lot of what they counted on in the regular season, and they didn't have it. And realistically, your MVP this year and potentially could have been the league MVP. He was pretty irrelevant.
What do you mean potentially could have been? He's going to be.
He may be the MVP of the league. It's going to be a tough one, but regardless,
he's going. He is to get them there.
All right, so then the league MVP this year he was irrelevant. Like he scored yesterday, which but he was awful in game one.
That's what happens when they separate them, which they try to stick to, and you don't have the depth to go at Carolina. You don't have the, you know what I mean? Carolina didn't really, like, they did change from last year. They picked up Brady Shea.
Yeah, they got small pieces here and there.
Right, but they didn't get huge pieces. Svechnikov decided not to try to get any more fights.
Became Sergei Fedorov all of a sudden, and
that was unbelievable. Ovechkin literally knocked some sense into that kid.
Yeah.
And just said, okay, don't fight, score goals.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Staal is also a better leader now for that team, I think. Mm-hmm. Justin Williams came back. That was a good decision, I think, by him.
Yeah. He had a big fight in game one, too. That was cool.
He
cool to see
dropped it right away. Yeah. He set the playoff tone.
Yeah. I guess we don't really need to do predictions. Who'd you have going in?
I had Carolina all the way.
Carolina in 4, you said?
4, yeah.
I had New York in 5. But
it's really bad.
It's looking like Carolina in 3 right now.
So. It's looking like a sweep. There's 10 minutes left, but I think anything can happen.
Yeah, a lot of game left, but it just does not look good for New York.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about games in general in the round robin. We can go team by team.
Well, do you want to just go with I think maybe most surprising. We kind of touched on Boston. I think that
Boston is shockingly bad.
I think Tampa looks like Tampa again, and they're really
fine.
They're really good. They could
Washington surprised me too. I didn't think Braden Holtby, man. He played. He
oh my god, that was a filthy goal. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous.
Oh, I missed it. Ooh, ow.
Yeah.
Is that Aho?
Yeah.
Speaking of the devil.
Yep. Let's go.
Speaking of D-man not showing up, it just walks him like he wasn't even there.
Hey, so you want to
So yeah, it's gonna be Carolina in 3.
Sebastian Aho. Where were you 4 minutes ago?
It's gonna be Carolina in 3.
Oh, gross.
Tony DeAngelo. Speaking of the devil.
Oh, gross. Hello. And there's your lunch money.
Yeah, great. Anyways, no, Boston's bad. Tampa. Washington was great. I think they look like they're ready to play. Great.
I'm looking at this now. And I had Boston, Washington, 2, Tampa, Philly, 1, I think that's flipped that now. Philly is looking pretty deep.
Yeah.
They literally got some pretty deep pockets, and I don't know why, but Carter Hart could be doing this whole, young goalie gonna steal the playoff thing.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know. I don't have a ton of faith in them down the stretch. I think they're deep-ish. I don't think they have superstar depth, but they have guys that have been there.
Ability to, you know what I mean. Close Giroux at one point
Claude Giroux, who didn't score in the first game. Like, their big names didn't really get any points.
Oh, well, then that means they're deep.
Which is crazy.
Like I said, their pockets are deep, man.
Yeah.
It'll
be interesting to
dig
see.
in and find a player, right? Like,
yeah. So. Philly could surprise some people. I don't
know. The West, I just had Colorado to sweep everything. That was a crazy game with St. Louis.
Holy shit, that goal by Kadri? Oh my god! 0.1 seconds left on the clock.
Azim the Dream.
That is the most buzzer beater shot you'll ever see.
Wicked.
Awesome.
Wicked. Yeah, loved and it. I had one thing I did want to say too. I quite enjoyed Dallas and Vegas before the game.
Yeah.
With Reeves and Seguin, and I think Leonard was there, and I want to say Dickerson was Dickinson. Sorry, yep. Honestly, good on both sides.
Yep.
Nice to see in the game. Also, Dumba's speech, same deal. Like, you know what I mean? Had some real powerful words to say there. So I think that's good to see in the game.
These are guys that have a platform to speak from, and you love to see it, especially right now because all eyes are on you. And it's great that these guys went out and did something like that. I think it was good on Reeves because Reeves was kind of under the spotlight a little bit on like not doing anything in the exhibition game. Yep. So game 1 came out for him, and he's like, you know what? Look, we're gonna do something. And it was really good of him to go to the Dallas guys too, and be like, hey, look, this is what we're gonna do. If you want to hop on board, great. Absolutely. And then big leader move on Seguin too, right? To go out and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna do this. If anyone wants to join in, like literally talk to the team. He's like, you know what? If you guys say no judgment, whatever, do what you want to do.
Whatever you're most comfortable with, but
I think it was great on both parties, and it was good for them. I think
the NHL right now is doing a really good job of letting the players handle it, and they're doing a really professional job of doing it. You know what I mean? Yep. They haven't said anything.
It started awkward, and all the whole like unifying by like putting everybody together on the line and shit like that. I thought that was weird as fuck.
Okay,
but I think after that, they did a great job, and I think the players are doing a great job on their own when the NHL is not dictating them to do things.
Right.
But yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right? We covered the series.
Series.
Yeah. So that's been us. Welcome back, I guess. We'll probably be back again next week when all these series are wrapped up. One's going to be wrapped up next 10 minutes. So yeah.
Oh man, that goal I think just puts the nail.
Yeah, it's over.
That thing was disgusting.
It's over. Rest in peace, in New York Rangers. You tried.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've kept an episode under an hour too.
I know, good for us.
Wow.
Well done, eh? Wow. It's different when we only have 2 guys too, though. So it's not bad.
So? It's a little lonely, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just a little less.
I guess
a little less argumentative. I don't really have.
It is a 2-way podcast.
Hey. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we always
don't forget to subscribe. Check out the website.
Check us on MySpace.
Follow us. Follow us on every social media except for MySpace because I forgot to set the MySpace up.
We don't have a MySpace?
No, I forgot to set it up. Dude. Maybe I should get on that. It's a pretty
big
deal.
We got a Club Penguin or what? Nothing.
We do have a Club Penguin. Add us on Club Penguin at 2-Way Hockey.
We get on that.
Add us on Webkins.
I don't think I've ever been on Webkins.
No? Habbo Hotel. You ever play Habbo?
Oh, that was the jam, yeah. Dude,
Add us on there.
I never actually spent money, though. Like, some people had rooms.
I think I accidentally did once as a kid. You ever do that as a kid?
No. I've used that excuse as a kid. No, I accidentally bought it.
It was an accident, Mom. I just accidentally took your card out of your wallet and typed in all the numbers.
It clicked buy now by itself. I swear, my finger hopped in like a weird twitch, and I didn't know what to do.
And I touched it, and sorry, I bought $100 worth of Habbo coins.
Right. So, did you hear about that kid? I think he was in the States, and he was speaking to Google, and the credit card was hooked up to Google, and somehow he bought like a whole bunch of stuff. It was like over thousands of dollars of stuff.
Oh.
And the dad got the shipment, and he was like, "What the hell?" Because the kid just speaking to Google, saying buy something, and like other things. It's like,
no. Kids, man.
Kids, don't ever hook your credit card up to Google.
No, that's a horrible idea. The lesson learned there. Do not do that.
Convenience is not convenient.
No, not in that situation.
Not when you got kids, eh?
All right.
Cool.
That's us. Go
I guess
Canucks.
we're out from
That's
here.
on in 10 minutes.
Say, you know what? I think they're gonna
Shut
surprise.
up. Oh,
I said surprise you.
I thought you were gonna say they're gonna lose. It's not too happy.
No, man. Quinn Hughes is pretty dynamite. I think he.
Yeah, that's what we're rolling with. All right. Catch you next week.
See y'all later.
Cheers.